It's good to see you back. Happy Hallows Eve to everybody that celebrates Halloween. I thought it'd be a special, exciting day to do a little bit of a spooky storytelling. If you saw my video announcing this, I said I was gonna talk about the most frightening night of my life. So that's what we'll be doing today. So disclaimer first, if you're underage or if you don't like anything paranormal, there's a lot of people out there that do not believe in the paranormal, ghosts, demons, whatever. You should just click off now because it is a true story. I want to sit here and say that it was not a true story and that never happened to me, but it did, and it's real. And if you don't believe in the paranormal, then you shouldn't even watch this video past this point. All right, so whoever stayed, come on, let's go grab a drink, cocktail, drink of choice, tea, apple cider, whatever you want. Let's go get started. All right, we're back. I got some wine. So let me take a sip first. Okay. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. All right, so where shall we start? Let's take it back to the year 2014. If you have seen any of my past videos, when I was doing my spiritual awakening and I was coming into my mediumship, it took me down a path where, as most mediums know, if you're a medium watching this or if you're psychic, you know that you start opening up to a lot of other, abilities. And when I was going through this, it was probably the lowest, darkest point in my life. And I was going through my dark night of the soul at the time. So with that, I started going through very weird things that were happening to me personally. This is when I started noticing that something was happening. Something, I honestly thought that I was going a little crazy, a little mental, because it does get into your mental space. And so around this time I started to, and it was weird because at this point I was moving out of an old house into a new house. So I was pretty excited about it. And in the meantime, I didn't know, and I didn't really pay attention to what was really happening, because I didn't understand it at that time. So when I moved into my new house, it started in my old house, but I just didn't pay attention to it, or, I did, but then I really started, once I moved into the new house is when I really started doing research and finding out about the spiritual awakening stuff, Kundalini and all that stuff, okay? So when I started really like meditating a lot more and doing all the spiritual stuff, I started studying tarot, and this is when it really flared up. Things started happening around me in the house. Every time I would go to like a public place with a lot of people, I started feeling dizzy. I started just, vibrating on every level, and I started getting everybody's energy. So I didn't feel well most of the time. So mentally, I really thought that I was losing it. So in that same time when I was going through all this, I'm thinking to myself, am I losing my mind? So I had a doctor that, even though he practiced Western medicine, he was kind of still like a hippie. He didn't really like prescribing a lot of stuff, so he did most of the naturopathic type remedies. So I told him what was happening. He said, it's probably lack of sleep. Just meditate, try to clear your head before you go to bed. you know, all these other modalities that he told me to practice besides, you know, giving me some sleeping aids or whatever it was. Well, around this thing, I started seeing a lot of visions. God, just, you know, so many vivid dreams. I started to notice and seeing people dying. So I started getting really freaked out. So around this time that I was going through all this, I was like, no, this is the meditate. I did everything that he told me to do. I'm like, this is not it. This is not helping. So I went ahead and I started doing a lot more research about everything that was going on and all the events that started occurring and everything that was happening to me. And for some reason, mediumship popped up. I was like, okay, so I started doing a little more research, a little more reading, learning. So one night, I went to bed, just normal. I don't even know if I meditated that night or not, because I can't even remember. That night was just the most frightening night of my life. I went to sleep and I'm laying in my bed, and I remember I had the covers, you know, up to here. So I'm laying in my bed on my back, and in the middle of the night I was awoken by my bedroom door, which was like right across from me from the bed, flying open, just out of the blue. I woke up and all of a sudden I see the door fly open in front of me. And at that point, right then and there, I knew what was going to come in through that door. I saw like a little mist, and I'm literally going to shit my pants at this point, because I knew what was going to lurk its ugly head around that corner. It was dark. I couldn't really see anything besides a little mist. And sure enough, here it comes. And it starts turning, like I had the wall, so there's a door and then the wall. And it turned to the wall, and it was literally a demon. It looked like a gargoyle, sort of, and it was tall. And it started climbing on the wall. And I'm still in my bed, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even know. I was frozen. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. I didn't know what to do. And I'm just looking at it, shaking, and literally gonna shit my bed. Like, I'm not even kidding about that. It's crawling and coming closer to my bed and closer, and I'm just watching it as it's getting closer and closer. So I'm laying there, hoping and praying that it doesn't climb onto me or climb onto the bed. Right when it leaves the wall and it starts at the foot of my bed, I'm just, I can't even tell you the fear that had overcome me at this point. I hear a voice. It's almost like, I want to say it's almost like it was like an angel whisper that I know now, looking back. And I hear, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. And I'm thinking to myself, what? How can I not be afraid? I'm already afraid. You know, this is, you know, frightening, to say the least. So I'm thinking, and it just keeps repeating in my head, and I keep hearing it, and it's just like, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. So I'm still laying there, and I'm like sweating at this point, and it starts crawling on me, like on my bed, like almost on top of me. And I'm just like, oh my God, just let this end. And I finally saw it getting closer and closer, and it literally got probably like 3 feet from my face. And I'm looking at it dead straight in the face. And all I remember is like, I'm not scared of you. Like well, I was, but I'm not showing it that I'm scared to it. And I remember it was so close to me that I remember smelling its breath. Like it was almost like bittersweet, almost like a sweet smell, but I don't know. I can't even explain it. And it kind of, it was wearing white gloves for some reason. Looking back now and knowing what I know and where I am with my spirituality and everything that's gone on with me and that have transpired over the years, because now, wow, it's been 5 years. So I'm familiar with what was going on. Now, looking back at it, I don't think it really wanted to hurt me, because all I remember, like I couldn't see the hands, but it had like white gloves. It was just the oddest thing. And I remember it going like this, like if you know, your face kind of, and then like it wanted me to close my eyes. And so I did. Right when he put his hand on my face, not he, it, whatever it was. Well, and I closed my eyes, and then I opened them after a few seconds, what felt like minutes, hours, and it was gone. Like completely just disappeared. And I lay there sweating, not knowing. I was so confused, not knowing what had just happened. What did I just see? Is this for real? I was so confused. I don't even remember if I went back to sleep that night, to be honest. I'm trying to, like, that night, I tried to put it out of my head for so many years. It's just not something that I really want to remember and look back to. So it was just an experience that I'll never forget. And ever since that day, now that I know what I saw, and I've seen probably the worst that can be out there in that realm, that a lot of people don't believe that it actually is out there, that demons exist, that ghosts exist, that, you know, dead people walk among us. But I know now that it happened and it was real. And like I said, it's something that I never want to ever experience again. Now, over the years, I've seen so many paranormal stuff, so it doesn't really bother me, and it doesn't really scare me anymore. Nothing really does after seeing what I saw that night. But when that happened, I remember what I was researching with the, you know, the mediumship. So I sought out a medium. And she was the one that was my mentor. And she basically said, I believe you. I believe what you saw, because I told her everything that had been happening to me. And she said, well, you gotta remember that when you start opening these vortexes, you're letting anything come through, anything to basically, you know, come in your world, in your space. I wasn't protecting myself like I should have, because I just didn't know what was really happening and how to do that. She was the one that actually told me, here, do this, do A, B, and C. And I started doing that. And when I started doing that, I started seeing the difference. And now, you know, it brought me to where I am now, where I just don't, you know, I see dead people all the time, and it doesn't bother me. It bothers me, but it doesn't frighten me, or it doesn't scare me like you would think, or like, you know, the normal person. But that frightened me. Would I sit here now and say that if I saw it again, would it scare me? Probably, absolutely. I mean, because that is the epitome of being frightened, right? Being scared to your core. So, however, I've managed to keep that away and keep all dark entities away. I have still seen them here and there, but I don't let them in. I protect myself, and, you know, I cleanse my house. You know, I cleanse myself and anything that's around me, my family. And, you know, it's just one of those things that I'm more careful about now. But it, you know, it was an experience like no other. And I will take that to my grave, because, I mean, well, you know, that experience will never leave my mind. You just can't forget it. But I wanted to share this story with you guys because I just thought it was very appropriate to come out and say that. I did mention it in my other videos that I will talk about paranormal stuff on this channel, because it was an important part of me awakening to my mediumship. That's just part of what comes with having mediumship gifts and being able to do that. Obviously, you're connecting with the other side, with another realm. So I just wanted to put it out there, and this was a good way to actually storytell about it. And I just thought that Halloween would probably be one of the best days to share this story with you. You know, just saying that it did happen. I wouldn't sit here and make this up, because I really wish that it probably never happened to me. But if you guys have any stories of similar content, you know, did you guys see a ghost? Have you guys had any paranormal experiences happen to you? Let me know. I'm happy to read about it, and leave them in the comments. Let me know how you dealt with them, what experience you had. So I will leave you with this, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you guys all enjoy your Halloween. Don't eat a lot of candy. And I am gonna get to the kiddos that should be showing up here anytime soon. All right, bye you guys. Happy Halloween. Say happy Halloween.